Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about scaling with balance through Dataiku and Databricks. So my name is Amanda Melberg. I'm a partner sales engineer here at Dataiku, and I am joined by Prasad, a partner solution architect at Databricks. And we are excited to talk to you today about how you can achieve higher business value using Dataiku and Databricks together. And being able to achieve high business value means having robust MLOps pipeline, one that is scalable and governed, especially across multiple platforms. But before we get into how Dataiku can be used as the comprehensive monitoring platform across models and pipelines developed in both Dataiku and Databricks, let's start with what we often hear from both Dataiku and Databricks customers, talking about the challenges of scaling AI. We often hear similar pain points from our customers on their mission to scale AI. And I encourage you to watch the additional session on operational excellence, which dives deeper into this topic. But I first want to highlight a common theme that they discussed. And that is, with blockers from the start, the more you scale, the worse it is. As organizations attempt to scale their AI operations with these broken loops, the inefficiencies often grow, leading to increased errors, delays, and resource wastage. If you have 2 or 3 models, that's fine. The challenge may not surface. But as you soon start showing model value, you start scaling to support digital transformation, and the little worries from the start become a real pain. As a result, it's only going to get worse. And ops teams often will waste a lot of time trying to fix the problems. And if you operate LLMs separately, you just add another layer of complexity, not to mention the risk of non-compliance with corporate policies. So you might have heard this slide from that first presentation, but let's dive deeper into common barriers that we hear when scaling AI. So Dataiku and Databricks interviewed 400 data leaders in a survey. And we see that data leaders struggle to deliver value. Over half our respondents claim that they lack an MLOps strategy, which further enforces the point that the concept of scaling AI is tightly intertwined with how organizations deliver value back to the business. Business value, or your return on AI, doesn't just happen through developing a model. And organizations begin to see that impact when those models are operationalized and embedded into business processes. The second common barrier is leaders responded that they are still struggling with data quality and access. And this is a struggle that constantly comes up through every survey, either Dataiku launches or ones that are just available around scaling AI. How do you ensure that your organization sets up the proper data foundation to build this analytical layer and build scalable AI and ML pipelines? And the last barrier in delivering value is there is a lack of data talent. And no surprise that you need talent to deliver value. And this is really where a universal AI platform, which empowers all users, come into play. And we need to reframe this concept that analytics can only be delivered by top-tier data scientists. That talent is valuable, but it's important to empower all users in an organization to leverage and use AI. And along with the risks of scaling and delivering values, a survey conducted by Dataiku also highlights how GenAI adds new layers of operational risk. With this new technology, more oversight is needed in terms of managing the cost of large language models, getting ahead of new AI regulations, such as the EU AI Act, and ensuring governance across both your GenAI and traditional machine learning models. 44% of respondents believe that their current toolkit does not fit their analytical and AI needs. And 43% of respondents would not describe their current tech stack as modern. And while an innate response may just be to buy more tools to fill the gaps, doing so is just adding more tool complexity and confusion to your stack. More platforms to monitor, making it harder for businesses to scale AI, drive value, and show that return on AI. Not to mention the additional technology costs that come along with it. And 60% of responders highlight that they currently use more than 5 tools to do each step in the analytic lifecycle. Organizations must tame this explosion of tools to ones that best serve the organization. And today I want to talk about how organizations can consolidate this multiple tools into a simplified stack with Dataiku and Databricks, and how Dataiku can be used as the comprehensive monitoring platform across both tools. Dataiku and Databricks make AI capabilities accessible to all users, helping deliverable scalable analytics through quick and secure access to data and large language models in Databricks using the easy-to-use visual interface of Dataiku. So how do you make the most out of your two investments? Well, let's think about this better together story across two axes, the user personas and the ML development lifecycle, recalling those barriers to scale we discussed earlier. On the first axis, your organization is filled with different personas with different types of technical talent. Dataiku and Databricks together make the full analytics lifecycle available to all people who work with data, both the data scientist and the data analyst. And on the other axis, since Dataiku sits on top of Databricks, when you develop or build analytical pipelines inside of Dataiku, you're always reading and writing data to the Databricks Lakehouse and pushing down all of your computation to Databricks Compute. This means that your data never leaves Databricks, and all of the assets created in Dataiku, both datasets and models, can be logged and stored in Unity Catalog. So with Dataiku and Databricks, you have the ability to collaborate on AI projects, move faster, and deliver business value in a safe and secure and governed way. And while Dataiku does not move the data out of Databricks, having two platforms does introduce two spaces for users to develop and monitor machine learning models. So we'll dive further into in a bit about how Dataiku can be used as this comprehensive monitoring solution for your models developed both in and outside of Dataiku, and I'll illustrate this in a product demo. But before, let's unpack the benefits of Unity Catalog, and I'll pass it to Prasad to talk a little bit more about Unity Catalog.
Thanks, Amanda. Next slide, please. And so before we dive into the Unity Catalog, I just wanted to talk a little bit about Databricks. Right? Databricks is all about democratizing data and AI, which is making sure that every organization is able to use their data in the best possible way to make decisions. The Databricks Data Intelligence platform has been built on a lakehouse architecture, and so that it provides an open, unified foundation for all data and AI and governance. It is powered by Databricks IQ, which also understands the uniqueness of your data. We provide a wide range of capabilities on top for the entire data and AI stack, all the way from data processing, ETL, data warehousing, real-time streaming. We also handle orchestration and data governance and MLOps. We provide various tools and frameworks that basically help you operationalize any kind of data and AI apps. Next slide, please. Yeah, and so today, my main focus would be on, I want to talk about the Unity Catalog, right? This provides a unified governance layer for all of your data and AI assets. Data typically on Databricks, the way it's used is that data is exposed as tables, and these can be queried using various languages, whether if you're familiar with SQL, Python, Scala, R, you name it, you should be able to query these tables to access your data. Unstructured files, like say, for example, PDFs or images and videos, these are stored in what we refer to as volumes. I mean, next you have these assets like ML models that they can be custom models or LLMs or even fine-tuned large language models, right? From a developer perspective, you have these other types of assets, whether it is notebooks, dashboards. I mean, these are various types of artifacts that you have. What Unity Catalog provides is a single unified way in which you can discover these assets, set access controls so that an end user can only access assets that they are permitted to use. And so what this means for a user of Dataiku is that one can now search and use assets that they have access to in the most secure manner. One can create tables, not only just create tables and do data prep, but also to be able to create log models to the Databricks Unity catalog. If you, from a governance perspective, right, the next thing that comes into mind is basically monitoring and lineage. This is provided out of the box across all data and AI assets. We use MLflow for MLOps, and this provides a fully end-to-end way to manage your model lifecycle. So
Yeah, and
again, what this means to Dataiku is that someone who is actually creating models on Dataiku can deploy these models and get it and register them to Unity Catalog, basically benefiting the entire monitoring lineage capability that we provide. Over to you, Amanda.
Thank you. I think everything that you highlighted and the importance of Unity Catalog, what's to know, like you said, in Dataiku, is all of those permissions that you set in Unity Catalog in Databricks are inherited through Dataiku. So the folks that can see the right tables in Databricks, will only be able to see those tables in Dataiku. And I think we'll show right now in the demo some of that concept of also deploying and moving between platforms, Dataiku and Databricks, because we both use the inherent MLflow underlying model monitoring packages, which is pretty cool. So now that we understand a little bit more about how Unity Catalog can govern all of your assets in Databricks, let's go back to how Dataiku can be used as that comprehensive monitoring solution. So there was another session called Solving MLOps Challenges with Dataiku, where we deep dive into Dataiku's vision to safely scale analytics and ML operations around these 3 dimensions. But today I want to focus on unifying ops and how Dataiku can help you unify ops across multiple platforms. And that's what we're talking about today, right? Users that are working in Dataiku and users that are working in Databricks. And really how this interoperability works is due to 3 new features that enable that model interoperability, giving users the freedom to develop models where they want. And so initially we introduced the support for external models. So this enables you to use and track already developed third-party models, like models that are developed and served in Databricks. So you can look at those in your Dataiku flow, which we'll show you today. And then next, we launched this export to model registry capability, which allows models to be developed in Dataiku using our visual ML framework and then registered to the Databricks model registry and Unity Catalog. And soon to come, additional deploy anywhere features will be expanded to Databricks. And then the most important piece of the puzzle has arrived, and that's unified monitoring. And unified monitoring is your one-stop hub or your central watchtower to monitor pipelines and models developed and deployed across multiple technology platforms. And so in the demo today, I will show you how we use all of these features to connect to models in Databricks, train models in visual machine learning and deploy them to Databricks. And finally, how unified monitoring sits on top and can monitor all of our pipelines across Dataiku, Databricks, and other cloud platforms. So the 3 features that we're going to talk about today is unified monitoring, the usage pattern of a user developing and deploying in Dataiku. So this is, connecting to their data in Databricks, preparing models, training a model with Visual ML and deploying it with Dataiku. We're also going to talk about how you can connect to models that are already served on Databricks in Dataiku and leverage some of our evaluation tools to get some additional metrics like feature importance and confusion matrices and things like this. And then finally, we're going to show how you can develop a visual machine learning model in Dataiku and export it to Databricks using the export to model registry. So with that, let's see it in action. Cool. So what you see on my screen is Dataiku. We're a browser-based platform that's collaborative for all users. And these are different projects that different folks are developing on in Dataiku. And so we're going to talk about this project, but I want to start first at the highest level, so that unified monitoring feature that I was talking about. So let's say I want to get a good idea of what models look like across all platforms that I have. In that way, I can leverage our unified monitoring framework. And so what's nice about unified monitoring is you get to see different Dataiku projects and API endpoints that are being served across multiple platforms. So here I have a view of API endpoints for projects in Dataiku, different cloud providers, and of course, Databricks, which is what we're going to talk about today. So if I go to different API endpoints, here I can filter to just look at the endpoints that are being served by Databricks. And so these endpoints that are available through Unity Catalog, this is what you see on your Databricks model serving endpoints here. So basically what unified monitoring is doing is surfacing what you see in the serving endpoints in one unified monitoring framework. This way I could see things like the Databricks infrastructure, but also potentially things deployed in Dataiku as well. So let's say maybe I'm interested in looking at one project that I have, a model that I'm training around customer lifetime value. And I know this is hosted on Databricks, but maybe I want to get some more information about what that model looks like, which feature models are important for that feature importance. So for that, I will go to my Dataiku project. So this is the flow that is analyzing this customer lifetime value. And we can see here there are many steps of the process in the flow. In my blue boxes, I'm seeing that I'm reading to writing directly to the Databricks platform. So as represented as the blue squares with this Databricks logo on top, all of my data is being stored in Databricks, and these data sets are being logged to Unity Catalog. So as Prasad was mentioning before, all the permissions that I have as a user working in Databricks will write to Unity Catalog, so you still preserve the lineage, but you're working in that friendly user face of Dataiku where you can apply both visual and code recipes on top of to transform this data. And so here we can see, we're going to talk a little bit about how we evaluate and monitor models in Dataiku that helps with that scalable AI. So here, what I first want to talk about is our external model capability. So in order to import an external model in Dataiku, you can actually connect to an external model endpoint. So here is where you can surface models across different cloud platforms and, of course, Databricks. So in the first model that we're going to talk about today, we can see here that I can import that model version, and that model is actually being written to Unity Catalog. So again, here I'm importing models based on where they are in Unity Catalog. And then once I have them in Dataiku, I can look at other things like feature importance of that model, create confusion matrix, and get all of these nice built-in features that Dataiku has, even on models that weren't trained in Dataiku. So this is that usage pattern of I'm pulling in that external model from Databricks. It's maintaining a proxy endpoint, so my model is still hosted on Databricks, but I'm using Dataiku to evaluate and get some information about this model. Along with looking at the feature importance here, I can also do things like run evaluation stores on these models. And so here I can monitor drift, for example, to see how different scores are changing over time with new versions or new data coming in on this model. What's also nice in Dataiku is that you can compare models from, let's say, this external model hosted by Databricks to a model that's trained using Dataiku Visual ML. And the purpose of showing this is just to show that you can compare the models. As we know, we're all using the same packages under the hood. So this isn't to compare model performance, more to show that you could just see model comparison side by side. So here I can look at those two metrics side by side, a model trained using Dataiku's visual machine learning and a model trained in Databricks external model. And so I can look at things across maybe accuracy, recall, precision. And again, we're just showing this in one viewpoint. That unified view is what's important here. But let's say maybe now I want to take this visual machine learning model and deploy it to the Databricks model registry. Well, in that case, I can just open this model. I get all of those same great features that I saw on the external model. And I can actually, right from the visual interface, I can export this model to Databricks. So here I select my Databricks connection that I want to use. I'm leveraging Unity Catalog. And I'm going to select my experiment name that I want to put here and different the model schema that I want to update in Unity Catalog. So again, it's this customer lifetime value model. Great. So I can go ahead, export the model. And what this does is take this visual machine learning model, which again is all based in MLflow, and you have the ability to export it to the Databricks registry. And so now if I go back to my Databricks registry, I can see I have a new version of this model. So we showed how we could successfully export a model from Dataiku to Databricks. And so really what we wanted to show in this demo here is the optionality that you have of freely moving between Dataiku and Databricks when it comes to model development, but still using Dataiku as your one-stop shop for unified monitoring. And so with that, I just wanted to wrap up with 3 key takeaways from the session today. 1, the combination of Dataiku and Databricks enables you to power AI every day. This means more data, more AI projects, because we're bringing all users to the table to build AI projects. The second is seamless collaboration. So enabling these technical users and business analysts side by side really enables you to work faster by collaborating with one another. And both of those different sources of talent are pooling their knowledge and their skills, and there's easy handover and the ability to choose or switch between one platform and another. And then finally, in those last 3 features that I showed in the demo, between unified monitoring, external models, and our export to model registry capabilities, we enable faster deployment and increased governance, and really the freedom for folks to choose their deployment strategy, whichever best fits their organization. So with that, thanks for listening, and we'll open it up to any questions folks have.